attributes that you have, which do not serve you this lifetime.
So let's now do a meditation, and I'm inspired by Tina feeling that she's not connected with her higher self and guides. So I invite you to close your eyes and let us ask the following questions. Dear higher self, are you there? My dear guides and angels, are you there? If you are there, I give full permission for you to come into my life. Dear higher self, come closer, come closer, come closer to me. Show me signs that I will recognize that demonstrate your presence in my life. Dear guides and angels, come closer, come closer, come closer, come closer to me. Demonstrate that you are part of my life in ways that I can see, feel, hear, or visualize. I am open to the myriad of ways that my beautiful, loving higher self and my guides and angels wish to make their presence known to me. It is safe for me to receive and rekindle this beautiful connection and relationship I have with my higher self, with my guides, with all the angels that surround me. And now let us hear from another beautiful, loving, angelic presence known as Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. This is the third channel about the same subject as the first two. Quite often in a month of channels, we will dissect an attitude, an attribute, an attitude, a physical parameter, something, and then put it into 4 parts. And we've done it again this month. The reason we do this is because these subjects we discuss with you are often a little complex. They deserve a lot more time. This one, a little different than most of the others, is about that which is happening on the planet which allows the human to think above that which they've always thought before. Think of this. There is a new level of awareness available for you. Now, in the last 2 episodes, you might say, of Healing Wednesday, I have given you 2 other ideas of what those higher levels would be. I have another one this time. But then I also tell you, they are not necessarily levels or necessarily even higher. And here's where it gets complex. And here's why we spend the time on it. You can change things, and you don't have to go to another level to change an existing parameter. But when it comes to consciousness and thought, almost all of you think that for you to have a thought which is above that which you say, above the way you were thinking, it had to be higher. So you're using the word above. Of course it has to be higher if it's above. What if it wasn't above? What if it was melded into your existing consciousness and what you had was more profound? Does it have to be above? The answer is no, but it's easier, much easier, for me to structure this for you, say it's above, say it's a higher level. That's what the human wants to hear. The human being is so steeped in hierarchical ideas and linearity that you want to go to the next step. And that next step is always up. So let's go there and let's stay there. The structure is for you. An enhanced thinking level of awareness that we are calling living awareness. Now, why would we call it living awareness? In order to differentiate it from normal awareness, perhaps, to identify what we're talking about, perhaps, to give it structure, perhaps. None of those things matter. I'm just going to tell you that this planet right now and the shift, the consciousness of the planet is in, allows you to go into multidimensional thinking, something that has not been available before now. There might be those who say, Kryon, what exactly has happened on the planet that would allow humans to go to a higher level? Now here's where you would say, well, you have done it yourself, dear ones, you're going into a shift, and you decided this or that, and that's not the answer. The answer is yes, there is something else. Perhaps we'll talk about that sometime. Something else which has enhanced that which you have. Something that's on time, on purpose, and is given to you. Because you showed you're moving through the shift. You need this. This one is important, like the other two were important. It's a higher, beautiful awareness of the planet Gaia. Now, some of you will say, well, there's Kryon again talking about the beauty of the earth. No, I'm talking about your partner, the earth. Ask an indigenous how important that is. There's always this idea that the indigenous love the earth because that's what they did. They were on the earth. And so they needed the rain, and they needed the animals, and they needed all these things for sustenance and all. Whereas in a modern society, things have changed. Really. I will tell you something. It's time to get back to what has already been known and studied. And that is your higher awareness of Gaia. Why do you need this? Let's get into this. Gaia is not the dirt you walk on. You realize that all the air you breathe has come right from the trees. And what you give back goes into the trees. The mosses and the lichens, all of this on the planet, every breath you take is breathing in Gaia. The oxygen that has actually been made from the plants. You think you're apart from that? The water you drink, where'd it come from? All of the things that you take for granted, the crops, the things that you eat, all grown from Gaia. These are the things, the higher awareness things, that just scratch the surface on why you should always give credibility, love, awareness, recognition to Gaia. Gaia is the name, the beautiful name given to that which is Mother Earth. Gaia is the name, so you will have a name instead of just saying the earth. So you will recognize it, perhaps even as sentient. Perhaps it knows you, and you know it. Kryon said that when you got here, there was a partnership. Gaia was prepared for humans. Without it, without the preparation, there would be no humans. So doesn't it make sense that a higher awareness in general would be you giving love, credibility, even kindness and compassion to that which you've considered the earth? How can you do that? There are many who would ask this, well, all right, I live in the city and I'm an office worker. I live in a high rise. I don't even see grass much. So I can't run out and hug a tree. I can't take off my shoes and put them in the grass. The park is too far away. I got things to do. How does that sound? Well, that's a lot of you. And Spirit knows that's a lot of you. Gaia knows that's a lot of you. That's just what modern living has created for you. So what about that? What can you do? So here is the answer. Gaia is still connected. You're breathing it. You're eating it. Gaia is still extremely connected to you. Gaia still knows your name. Gaia, the planet, loves you. There is a very significant partnership between you and the planet. Even though it's not in your scriptures, even though you may not have been ever told about it as a kid, even though your parents had no idea. This is why it's elevated thinking. This is why it is an awareness that is a living awareness. Something different, something beautiful, something bigger than you were ever told. Before you get up in the morning, thank you, beautiful earth. Thank you. I love you. I may not see your grass today or hug your tree today, but I know who you are, and thank you every day of my life. Thank you as I rise this morning. Can you give it 30 seconds? I think you can. Does it make a difference in your life? It should, if you mean it. And it will, if it's done with compassion. This is a higher dimensional thinking that goes right into that multidimensional space that is heard and acted upon, and your life starts to change. Living awareness of the planet. I am Kryon, in love with all of you. And so it is.
And following that beautiful message from Kryon, I invite you now to bring your awareness back into your body. And if you've had those beautiful eyes of yours closed, I invite you to open your eyes, and we're going to move into the next part of our program. And we have a very special guest joining us this evening that Lee and I were chatting with before this program even began, actually, and so fascinated with her story and everything that she has to share. And there's a little treat coming for us all as well. But her name is Aurelia. But before we get there, I want to make sure she's there on the Zoom feed with us. Aurelia, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yay.
Thank you so much for having me, Lee and Monica. Thank you.
Doesn't she look like an angel?
I know.
Already
How did that happen? Let's let everybody know. Aurelia is an award-winning New Age recording artist. I love her already. Composer, pianist, singer, and music educator. She is an empath, intuitive sound and vibrational healer. That's what she does. For over 20 years, Aurelia has been an avid and passionate explorer of sound and its effect on consciousness. Classically trained in the piano since she was 5, she had a drive and a passion to compose music differently, and so she started experimenting at 7 with her own form of composition. I would love to know what's in her akash. Aurelia has released 10 albums since 2011 and has sung on albums with Deepak Chopra, Krishna Das, and many other conscious artists.
In 2007, she had channeling experiences which caused her spiritual and psychic gifts to re-emerge. By 2010 and 2012, during another crisis, she was having prophetic dreams. She was having visitations and the ability to feel and see energy. In 2021, she had a near-death experience, and it was after her incredibly intense heartbreak and grief due to her soulmate, her twin flame, passing. I can't even imagine what that would have been like. And it was within her near-death experience that she was given a choice and encouraged to go home back to Earth. That experience shook her open even more, in which she now connects to her beloved through the veil, and as a result, she can channel higher energies such as Yeshua, Gaia, and the angelic realm.
So today she composes her music from the highest frequency of divine love for humanity and the earth. She facilitates music and sound healing channeled events and teaches women how to use their own voices as tools for healing, energetic balance, transformation, and manifestation, of course. Aurelia, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I am really, truly honored to be here.
What we really want to do right now is to hear this incredible story. You were a musician before any of these things happened, especially with your NDE, but something happened there that boosted it, and you can tell the story. We'd love to hear it.
Okay. So I will start briefly. When I was very young, I came from a very gifted music family. My parents, my aunts and uncles. So music has always been it's basically in my DNA. We would sing at Christmas time in 7-8 part harmony. So I always grew up with this gift. And interestingly enough, I was always able to see the other side. I would see beings around my bed as well. That was a little bit harder for me because nobody else in my family was talking about that. And so by the time I was about 8 years old, maybe 7, 8, or 9, basically when we move out of theta and we come into more of the earth realm, I started to not be okay with having these beings in my room at night. So I kind of closed that door. And at that same time, I was really into music and reading anything that you could put in front of me, Handel, Bach. But there was a point in me that was totally frustrated because when you took the music away, I couldn't play. So I was like, okay. So I remember having this moment and asking, why can't I play? I know I'm a musician. And that's when I sat down on the piano and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes and just see what comes out. And that's when I started to channel. And it was so easy. It was just like I connected to heaven and it came through me. And as I continued on that path throughout, school and high school, I would do it the same way with singing. And all of my friends would say, every time you sing, you make me cry. And I'm like, but I'm not singing sad stuff. I'm just singing God. I'm singing love. I'm singing what comes through me. So I continued on that journey and I became a music teacher. I studied shamanic ethnomusicology, all of this in my 20s. And then I taught choirs of 200 students and me. And I realized at that point that I was moving energy. I had so much of this energy to move, and I would just orchestrate it or harmonize this energy and move it. And then I was about 30 years old or 31, and that's when everything started to somewhat collapse. I ended up having my first daughter named Grace, perfectly named. And I had a very challenging birth. I wanted an all-natural water birth, and I had the opposite. So an induction, a C-section, and I ended up going into postpartum depression, lots of challenges. And as about 4 months after that, I started to realize that I needed to work with my mind because that was very, very different. That was difficult for me. I felt very isolated and alone with a newborn that I couldn't, it was just very challenging. I had a lot of physical challenges, and then I got bit by a tick, which carried ehrlichiosis and mono and everything. So my body just went into basically a disaster. And I went to all of these doctors, and they said, you looked fine. You're just a new mom, just sleep it off. So I got further and further away from sort of the institution, and it pushed me into my intuition because I knew there was something wrong. And I was looking for the outside world to tell me what was wrong, but it literally pushed me inside. So that's when I started to, I literally broke open. And I remember when the lowest part was when I collapsed. I remember collapsing on my knees and praying like this wasn't life. This wasn't it. And I remember just surrendering to God and saying, I don't know what is wrong, but just lead me. And that's when I started to hear music in my head. And at that point, I had given up writing music and creating music for myself because I had a deep sense of insecurity or unworthiness all throughout that time. And I realized that I was being called back to my own soul. And that's when that spiritual journey, really, truly, the conscious spiritual journey began, which was the end of 2007. And so I ended up going to a couple more doctors because I knew I needed something. I forgot how to read music. I mean, I've been playing since I was 5. So
Wow.
it affected my nervous system so bad, all of the infections, that I forgot the word for chair. I mean, it was really bad. So one doctor said, I don't care what the tests say, I'm treating you for this. And that's when I started to heal. I used multiple modalities. That's when I found sound. I found Tibetan singing bowls. And I remember going to the library and I was hearing this woman play and I was like, oh, I'm home. This is it. So I started my journey learning I studied with her. She studied with a monk. So I learned the authentic way of playing the Tibetan singing bowls. That was about 2008 and 2009. And so I realized, okay, I'm on my path. I started writing again. And I felt more connected than I ever did. Then in 2010, I had a couple of more little crises that opened me up even further. I had a miscarriage. My house was robbed. All my recording software was stolen. Just lots of things. I was hit by my own car. So not many people are hit by their own car on my anniversary. So at that point, I was like, okay, I needed to look at stuff, but I wasn't ready to look at everything. So that was pretty symbolic for me. I do believe that all of us, if we look at our lives, we have signs and signposts and signals that, and just little remembrances that are placed here to help us go through this journey or the game. And to be hit by your own car. I realized I was that powerful.
I hope it wasn't called Christine. Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
Bad joke.
So that's actually...
I want to tell all of you about. She recorded a music video and it's going to be in our membership portal under music. So if you enjoyed that 2-minute taste of her exquisite voice, or it was probably less than 2 minutes, but if you enjoyed that, go to the portal, take a look at music and scroll down and you're going to find a gift from Aurelia. I think it's Heaven to Earth, her experience. So that's what you're going to find in the music session. Isn't that amazing?
It is. I think her story is just very heartfelt, very amazing, very rich, very true. And as I say, it's fresh on her. And what a turnaround.
Absolutely.
That she's made. So I want to thank you, Aurelia, for being on our show.
Absolutely. So once again, it's time to do what we are calling Miracle Moments, and it is one of the favourite sections of our program. We love to share people's healing and their success stories. We love to involve all of our wonderful group of viewers in helping others to heal. You can find the Miracle Moments section in your membership portal. That's where you can request prayers of help and benevolence. It's also a place where you can share your miracle with us. And honestly, Lee and I, we really love hearing about all the miracles that happen.
We really do. It could be a miracle in the form of amazing synchronicity. That's a miracle. It could be healing of the heart and your emotions. It could be physical healing of the body. There are so many ways we experience miracles. I'd like to ask Monica to share 2 miracle moments that have taken place.
So the miracle moments, again, they've been shared in our membership portal. And here is one that was submitted by Nigel. Nigel says, "My father, who is 84 with many serious health problems, stopped eating. He also stopped getting up and interacting. I knew it was serious. We took him to the hospital, but he would have to wait a week for tests. I didn't know if he would last that long, so I put his name on the prayer request. 2 days later, he got up and started eating again and going out. Thanks for your help." Well, Nigel, my heart just sings with hearing of that miracle moment, and we don't know what the situation is now, but every moment is so precious with your father, and to hear that miracle 2 days after putting his name on the list is just so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And we have another miracle shared, and this one comes from Annie. Annie says, "I have had severe allergies for years, and I asked for a miracle a month ago, since I didn't know where else to turn. I was in excruciating pain, but today I am allergy-free and feeling so much better. Thank you all. The power of group prayer truly exists, and I am so very grateful." Well, thank you for sharing that, Annie, because you are inspiring, and I can really kind of share that when you're not feeling good, life can be pretty miserable, actually, when you're in chronic pain and everything kind of contracts in and shuts down. So there's a lot of people who, for whatever reason, are looking for their miracle and have submitted their name in our portal, because as light workers, we are so powerful, and the power comes from knowing that this illusion of separation is not real, that inside of us we are part of the Creator. We are hooked to divine benevolent energies. So let's now all be a conduit for that divine energy to flow through us and send that divine, loving, benevolent energy to everyone who has requested prayers from help. I invite you to close your eyes and again focus on the area of your heart inside and feel, sense, or just visualize the flow of the divine love from the Creator. Each breath you take, you're breathing in love. You're breathing out love. You are part of the Creator. And as you breathe in this divine love, feel it swirl around your heart, and then breathe it out. And with that breath, we are sending the benevolent energies from the Creator to everyone who is on the list asking for prayers of help. We are a conduit, and we allow the vibration of love, the frequencies of love, the healing energies of love to flow through the ethers and be showered around all of those who are requesting help. Let them bathe in the solace of benevolent energies and love from the Creator. Let them feel that they are worthy to receive this beautiful, loving energy that's being broadcast 24/7. It continues well after we finish this miracle moment together. Let me remind you that you too are included in this as we do this exercise, breathing in love. Feel it swirl around your heart and then send it out. And let us now visualize and focus on those on the planet who may not have put their name on a list, may not even know where to turn to for help. Let them know that they are included. They are part of our family of humanity. And we breathe in love. Let that love swirl around our hearts. And we breathe out love and send those benevolent, loving energies to all those on the planet who are needing it. And one last breath. This one is for everyone on the planet, whether they feel they need it or not. We are a conduit right now, sending them the benevolent love and energy from the Creator. And let us now receive the benevolent energies that come through Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon. Come a little closer. The meditation is the teaching. It asks you to be still and feel that which is the love of Spirit for you. It asks you to become calm with yourself, to see your magnificence. Those things are difficult for many. Just those two things are so difficult for so many. This circle of 12 is the third of 4 that deals with the same kind of attribute, you might say, or action, you might say. For those of you who are going to cross the bridge with me yet again, I encourage you to go back and revisit the other 2. These are not given in a specific order that is needed to be in that order. It is just that they come in this group of 4. And we encourage you, when they're all finished, to treat them that way and to listen to the Circle of 12 portion, if you wish, and all 4 again. In this Circle of 12, and as you might remember in the last 2, we've done something unusual. Whereas in the Circle of 12, quite often you go and discover things, find things, ahas are yours. This month, we ask you to just be quiet and let us serve you. Do you believe, dear ones, that this is possible? Let's cross the bridge now and talk about this some more. Because when I give you this information and you're in your soul energy, you receive it better. The bridge is before you. It's a metaphor. The bridge means crossing from the known, something you're very, very familiar with, to the unknown, something you actually have never seen, not while you've been on earth. Even those who have an NDE really haven't seen this. It's your soul energy. Those who have NDE experiences, near-death experiences, have a tiny pinhole open where they can see just enough and hear just enough and know just enough to know that on the other side of that pinhole is majesty, beauty, light, and home. Very tempting. If that hole were larger, dear ones, if there were no hole at all, if they could see what's really there, it would be a different story. Most of them would never come back. Because all that they knew on this planet would be wiped away, and they would remember. They would remember who they were. And that is what we have with the Circle of 12, just some moments of remembering of being in this soul energy. So let's do it. Cross the bridge with me. Take my hand. Let's go. Moving across the bridge through the mist, we again come to this area. It's not even a place. And that's because there is no such thing as a physical place. In a multidimensional world, it's all mixed up. But for you, it's not. It's home. It's beauty. It's love. And it's safe. Here is a place you can walk back across the bridge anytime you want in an instant, but this time, it is again taking you to something that is quite unusual. It's not a theater. We're not going through a door or portal. You're staying in this place as you perceive it and going to an area where, again, you either sit in a chair or you lay on something soft and you allow yourself to be immersed in the energy of what is to come. Imagine, what if this were real? And in a moment, a green mist is going to come and flow all around you. Imagine, just for a moment, what if you could visualize thousands of healing angels coming and imbuing themselves to every cell of your body, cleansing them, if you wish, of the things that are not then appropriate for a new energy human. Getting rid of old things which have always taken you back and held you back and were frustrating and painful, perhaps. Imagine, what if that were so? Is that something you would only see perhaps in a movie? Is it something perhaps that is real? Today it's real. For those who understand the profundity of your consciousness being in this place, it's real. I wouldn't tell you this if it were not so. And there will be those who will go away from this experience healed, different, and they know it. It has already occurred in this, my work, with this, the green mist. It's not a time where you learn anything, dear ones. It's not a time when you have aha moments, dear ones. You're not going to meet anybody. You're just going to sit and let us work with you. Some have said, I love this idea, but why would this happen? What did we do to deserve this? The answer is, you just being you deserve this. You're doing the hard work on this planet called Earth. And in these special times, through allowance, you are seeing a greater truth. And coming across the veil to visit the soul of yours and participate in the love of Spirit, the love of God, if you wish. That which is the creator of all things, the purest of the pure, the most beautiful of beauty, whose seed is in you. You have the Creator inside. That's why you deserve it. And so for these moments where you're not then working or on the planet, I'm asking you for quietness, to set yourself up for quietness, no interruptions, while we service you. Have that seat, lay down if you wish, and let this beautiful, thick, green mist that is filled with angelic power, energy, love, compassion, kindness, flow into this area around you. You can feel it approach, and it'll take your breath away because it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. It's a bath of love. And here it comes. Don't be afraid of this, any of you. And as it starts to flow over your body, next to you, I want you to feel the chills of the love. You can put up your hands or put them out or anything you wish to in thanks and gratitude that this is happening for you. It is filled with healing, and it's filled with all the things we've already talked about. And it can do all the things again that we've talked about, but the specialty this night may seem like it was covered last week, but this one is specific. We're going to give it a name, and some of you won't understand. Acceptance of self. Here's another name, forgiveness of self. And you might say, why would I ever need to forgive myself? And I will tell you, because your programming on this earth has told you you're unworthy. If that's not bad enough, it has come from spiritual workers, those who are supposed to represent that which is the love of God, who created you in the image of the Creator, in the image of the Creator, then telling you in the next breath, supposedly, that you're unworthy. That shouldn't even be logical, dear ones, and yet that has been the story. That has been the reality consensus. And so many of you have been through this, that you sit in a place where you say, I am not worthy. How many people have told you you couldn't make it? All of these things in an older energy are filters that are today going to be wiped away if you choose them to be. I want you to see in your mind's eye this beautiful bathing experience in the love of Spirit in this green mist, ripping away that doubt. Create a hole, if you wish. Rip away all those filters and all that doubt of your unworthiness and fill it up with truth of who you are, why you're here, and the celebration that the angels have through all of it. They see you and they sing. Don't you know that? They see you and they sing. How does that feel? Are you really unworthy? Why would they ever do that? The answer is because you're magnificent. Let this green mist flow around you and take away every one of those thoughts that you shouldn't be here, or what everybody's always going through who's on this planet when they tell you you're not worthy. There are so many of you who need this, and that's why it's specific this evening. I want you to stay, and just love what's happening. And if you get a chance, listen to the angels and the song they sing, because it has your name in it. You really do deserve to be here, dear ones. Can you just raise your arms? Thank you, Spirit, for this beautiful healing. Stay. I'm crying in love with you all. And so it is.